Hello, 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 my Breaking Bad fanatics. It is GZTV, and we are here to review the season opener, Season 5, Breaking Bad. This came out 2012. The series was over by 2013, so, by the way. It took like 5 years to make this whole film. Like, I'm serious. And that's kind of ridiculous. A film this good, or a TV series this fucking good took 5 years to complete it. Maybe 6, 7, give or take. Who knows? But oh my god, it's great. Let's see. Live free or die is the motto for the state of New Hampshire. So that's kind of foreshadowing Walt being in New Hampshire eventually. So we're going to go through the plot. We're going to kind of go through the critical reception. You guys understand how these go. The episode starts with a flash forward to Walter White in a restaurant on his 52nd birthday. So we kind of get a look into what Walter is going to be doing for the rest of his life. We're not at that point yet. We're still in the aftermath of the bombings. Walt illegally purchases a machine gun off his arms dealer, which is hidden inside the trunk of a car. So he feels like he needs to protect himself. He's hid his identity of sorts, but he definitely needs to protect himself still. In the present, Walt disposes of any evidence connecting him to Gus's killing and Brock's poisoning. So Walt indeed poisoned him. He should have got the lily out of his yard. My God. Skylar tries not to speak to Walt, explaining that she is now scared of him, and she has kind of discussed that idea of her being scared of him before in this show, and I guess I can't blame her. She's kind of being a big wuss about the whole thing. Walt has got it taken care of, and here's Skylar still whining and whining. You know, Walt is just trying to do stuff for his family and kind of try to protect them, and she just tries to get in the way of that every time. So, yeah. Walt suddenly remembers the surveillance cameras that Gus installed in the super lab, realizing that the footage Gus may have collected could incriminate him, and he could have been spotted at a crime scene for what's the crime called for burning something down? Arson? Is that what it's called? Treason? Arson? I don't know my crimes that well. It's arson, right? Something like that. So yeah, the whole mission of this episode is that for them to either get the computer with the camera, wipe the camera off of it, all of its memory and its data. Yeah, those are pretty much the two. The following day, Mike Ehrmantraut, who is alive by the way, and I kind of knew this. I feel like people kind of assumed this guy was like left for dead in Mexico, but or Mexico as I should say. But he's still alive, so there's him still in this show that might act as a villain towards Walter and Jesse. I made that prediction, and I don't know if that's going to hold too true. He's definitely very reluctant to work with them, but I don't know. He learns of Gus's death and drives back to New Mexico in a rage. So this was kind of his job to protect Gus this whole time, and he fails. So he's definitely not fucking happy. He's not really having it right now. He comes across Walt and Jesse Pinkman and is prepared to kill Walt, which again, I kind of predicted he was going to be like a villain to them. But Walt and Jesse convince Mike that Gus's laptop needs to be dealt with, which has been seized by police as evidence. So they're like, dude, you're going to be involved in this too. You better help us out by erasing this, or else you may kill me and you may get Gus's revenge, but you're going to be going to jail, pal. Like, you know? Jesse's going to be alive. You guys are both going to be in jail and once they look through this computer and kind of examine it. Mike advises that they all leave the city as soon the police will find them in the lab camera footage. They want to get rid of the lab camera footage. That's why they came to you, Mike. Come on, man. That big bald dome of yours, you need to be thinking here. However, Jesse and Walt concoct a plan to use an industrial electromagnet to destroy the laptop from outside the police building. Real spy shit, real like James Bond, classic action movie shit. It's kind of crazy. Now, is it realistic? It's very smart, and like at this point, some of the exploits that Walter has been using to get out of the situation, they do seem kind of ridiculous at times, but it's still a really badass way of taking care of business, and I'm all for it. The show doesn't have to be all the way realistic. By now, in the justice system, whatever you want to call it, they probably would have gotten caught regardless of what Walt did to prevent it. They pull it off despite being forced to abandon the truck. I don't really want to talk about this scene that much. It's cool. It's nothing great. They don't come into direct contact with the police. And honestly, this is why they should have the evidence room in the police building, like at the fucking center, like it's some bank vault or something. Because if you have a separate building, it's very easy to break into that bitch. There's only one officer on parole, or on patrol. Sorry, fuck. And the other officers are kind of just chilling in the other building. So I don't know. As they drive away, Walt defies Mike's doubts that everything is settled. So yeah. Mike starts to agree with them more. Meanwhile, Saul Goodman approaches Skylar at the car wash and tells her that Ted Beneke survived the injury from his encounter with QB and Huel. You know, the one he tripped over the fucking rug and banged his head. Ted Beneke is still alive and with us, which is good. I didn't really want him dead. He's a very fraudulent guy, but I didn't necessarily want him dead in the show, so I guess that's good. And guys, I cannot wait to watch Better Call Saul. I don't know if I should wait till after I watch Breaking Bad to watch that, but Skylar visits Ted in the hospital and finds that he has been fitted with a halo brace. So it's a really bad situation. Thank goodness he survived, but again, it's just a terrible situation for Ted Beneke. An intimidated Ted tells her that he will remain silent about what caused his injury. It was by chance. He fucking tripped and fell. It's not because someone chased him because he wasn't signing a fucking IRS bill or anything like that. It's because he just tripped in his house and fell, and that's all he's going to leave it as. I mean, technically, that's what happens. He doesn't need to bring up the IRS thing. I'm not going to call him a bad person for lying about that, Elsewhere, Walt argues with Saul about the lawyer's failure to inform him about Skylar's bailout to Ted. I mean, they are separate clients. To be fair with you, Walt, they are kind of separate clients. So I don't think Saul lawfully can really tell. I mean, I know she's connected to you. I know you guys are married right now and your family. But I don't know. It is revealed that Huel was told to pickpocket Jesse's rice and cigarette. We find a lot of revelations. We find out a lot of things in this episode, which I love. Which is why Jesse believed it was lost. Saul presents the cigarette to Walt in a plastic bag, remarking that he had no idea Walt was going to poison Brock in the service of killing Gus. So pretty much what Walt did was he poisoned Brock with the berry. Brock got poisoned. Jesse showed up to the hospital and he was like, well, Gus fucking did this, not Walt. Why would I think Walt? I mean, he kind of did think Walt did it at first, but this is for him to get on. I mean, it is a crazy plan and kind of an evil plan for Walt. But Saul tries to end his and Walt's business relationship, but Walt threateningly tells him, we're done when I say we're done. So they're on the verge of kind of breaking up as business partners, but Walt will not let it happen. At the time of the episode coming out, this is the most watched Breaking Bad episode in history. The episode was praised for the flash-forward cold open and Cranston's performance as Walter White. People think he did a really good job. I don't really have much else to say about this. I would definitely say it's like a top 25 Breaking Bad episode. It's definitely in the better half. We definitely had a really good stretch of episodes recently. So much action. I think Season 5 is definitely going to be the best season. Obviously a TV show is supposed to get better as the seasons roll by. And I think the same thing should be happening for Stranger Things. Season 4 was good. Now, I don't know if it was better than Season 3. But Season 1 and Season 2, they were definitely lacking compared to these two seasons. I'm just using that as kind of a reference point. But I don't have much to say here. We're going to go talk about The Boys, which we have a season opener coincidentally with that as well. So leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I think Breaking Bad's really setting up to be a great show again and again and again. They never seem to disappoint their fans. And do not watch my reviews if you haven't watched the episodes. Again, these aren't spoiler free. I go through the plots, I kind of talk over them with you guys, and then yeah, it's that type of thing. So